I was the kind of person that hated vaping. I hated cigarettes. I didn't like anything to do with the topic of vaping or cigarettes, tobacco, you name it. I always told my friends to stop smoking. I always laughed at my friends for them vaping. I laughed at people passing by for vaping. I seen it as a very negative habit. But little did I know, I got hooked myself. So this is a story of how I started vaping and how I quit vaping. Later in the video I will explain how you can quit, and I will explain how I quit. We will discuss vaping in detail, and I have a presentation lined up for after my story. So I went to Lithuania, where I'm from, for a trip in winter. Me and a group of friends went, and it was a good time. Now, I never vaped before Lithuania. I never vaped, and this was around a year and a half ago. We were sitting around, and all of my friends bought vapes. I didn't want anything to do with them. But then, I had a little bit of alcohol, which I rarely did, so that was almost the first time of me having alcohol. And I didn't have much. But I said, you know what? Heck it. I'll have a vape. So I asked my friend to borrow a vape. I took a few puffs. And I got an intense buzz feeling. It was like my brain was working overdrive. It was like I started seeing colors differently. It was such a new experience. Like, nicotine is a powerful drug. So I got this really buzzy feeling, and my brain was working a lot quicker. I liked it. So my opinion of vaping instantly changed. I thought, nicotine is maybe not that bad. They don't really put in that many chemicals. It's probably very well studied. It's so safe. It's definitely safer than smoking. So I thought, you know what? Sure, I'll keep vaping for this trip while I'm in Lithuania, and then when I come back to Ireland, I will stop vaping. Sure. So I kept vaping for the whole trip of Lithuania. That was only like 3 days. And I thought, you know what? I'll bring back some vapes to Ireland. So I got 3 boxes of vapes, which was like 4 vapes in a box. So that's 12 vapes. And I said to myself, I will use these 12 vapes, and they're all different flavors, I'm such a child. And I will stop vaping after these 12 vapes. Fine. Brought back the 12 vapes. Didn't really vape that much, but still, I used it regularly. It was something like I was getting into the habit of already vaping. So I thought it was temporary. Those 12 vapes would just, disappear, and I would stop vaping. I thought I was smarter than most people. I thought that I wouldn't get addicted because I'm smarter than everyone, so I'm not going to get addicted. I can control myself. I have great self-control. I take such pride in my health. Why would I vape? So I said, you know what, I'll stop vaping once those vapes are gone. Boy, was I wrong. When I was in a social setting, people were smoking cigarettes. And what did I do? I said, let me try that. So I tried a cigarette, and the nicotine was even stronger. So I was like, wow, well, these are even stronger, and this feeling is quite good. So what did I start doing? I started smoking. Very rarely, but I still started smoking. It was maybe one a day, maybe even like 1 every 3 days. Then it became 1 every day, and then maybe 2 every day, and then I stopped again. But that doesn't matter. It was still a regular habit. It was still something that I disagreed with, that I ended up agreeing with. I started rolling tobacco, using those pouches. Again, I thought it was temporary. Boy, was I wrong. So I seen it as very contradictory, because I kept track of my health so often. I ate healthy food. I worked out very regularly, took cold showers, meditated. Very healthy habits. Overall, I seen myself as a very healthy person. But does a healthy person vape and smoke cigarettes regularly? Not really. So I seen it very contradictory, and it was like a controversial subject for me. So after maybe a couple of months, maybe around 6 months of me engaged in the habit, I decided to take a step forward and to stop this bad habit from developing further, because I began to be afraid of the consequences catching up with me, this addiction becoming stronger. Because I can say that I was addicted, but I wasn't addicted like most people. And again, I might be wrong, but I was addicted to some extent because I was relying on it a little bit too much. I was relying on it in a social setting, I was relying on it to boost my mental productivity, and some of you may relate to these side effects, or positives as you may see them right now, of smoking. And I'll tell you why these are not worth it later in this video. So, long story short, I just quit. I decided to quit cold turkey, and that's it. So let's get into the presentation where I'll tell you of how I quit, of how you can quit. I will tell you a little bit about vaping, and let's get into this presentation. Why you should stop vaping, a full guide. This is you right now, vaping. You clicked on this video because you have thought of quitting this habit. You have made the right choice, but something is keeping you in this addiction or habit. So, why are you vaping? Social peer pressure, or just fitting in. You see your friends vaping, you see maybe you're in a party, and you just want to fit in, and you wanted to fit in. So now you started vaping, you picked one up, and now you're hooked. You're transitioning from cigarettes or tobacco addiction. So you've smoked cigarettes or tobacco, rolling tobacco in the past, and you're trying to quit this habit, so you started vaping as a substitute. To get the nicotine buzz. Maybe you started vaping because just you enjoyed the nicotine buzz, like I did. That was my main reason for vaping, because I really enjoyed the nicotine. It was giving me a great feeling, it was giving me a head rush, I was maybe like more productive, or I seen myself as more productive. So that was my main reason for vaping. Relaxing or relieving stress. I did find it a bit relaxing too, so maybe this is why you're vaping. Too many flavors, aesthetically appealing. I mean, they all look like candy. They all have these, flavors that are so attractive to young kids especially. Like, they literally taste like jelly sweets. Well, okay, jelly sweets taste better, but then again, you know what tastes better? A fruit. A fruit can never be changed into like some kind of jelly sweet or a vape. A fruit will always taste better. It's cheaper, it's much healthier for you, so go for fruits. And I have one vape that I left for this video, so those are the vapes that I used, and this was like triple melon. I mean, I'm gonna throw this out after this video, so I only kept it for showing you. So you see it as a safer option to looking cool. So you see people smoking cigarettes, and maybe you think that they look cool. Still that subliminal messaging from movies. You've seen people smoking cigarettes, and you were like, wow, that guy looks so cool smoking a cigarette. So you're like, okay, I need a safer option because cigarettes are so dangerous. I might as well just pick up one of these cancer things and I'll start vaping, because it's safer and it looks cool. It doesn't. Cost effective in comparison to other products. So again, a vape is more cheap and more available than a pack of cigarettes. In Ireland, at least, a pack of cigarettes is like $15, maybe more, and a vape is like $7. So it's half the price. You get more use out of it. Whatever. Maybe you see this as an attractive option. Again, the last thing I have wrote down here is to look cool. Maybe you're like these kids right here, and they're like watching him, and they're like, "Wow, man, you're so cool vaping! Oh, look at those clouds, man! Ooh!" So again, kind of cringy, but you get what I mean. You now find it hard to stop. Yep, you are now hooked, my friend. Like this guy in a forest. Maybe he ran away. He's like, okay, my parents don't like me vaping. My girlfriend doesn't like me vaping. Like, my friends are telling me to stop. So he ran away to a forest, and now he's vaping away. One of those big guys, big vapes. Those are like the worst in my opinion. Nicotine addiction is now present. You find it hard to stop. You have an urge to vape every spare moment you get. You're constantly thinking about vapes. You're like, oh man, where's my vape? You're stressed out. You can't find it, and you're like, oh, where's my vape? Where's my vape? You do not care about any potential harmful effects. You have an addiction now, so you find more pleasure in the feeling that you get from vaping than the harmful effects that this habit has. And I'll go through the harmful effects very soon. You get irritated when you can't find a vape or you don't have one. You're like, oh my god, I don't have a vape, and you get so frustrated. You get proper annoyed when you can't find your vape. So, I've been there. You have intrusive thoughts about vaping constantly in your head. You're like, I need to go for a vape break. Maybe it's cigarettes. You can use this video for both cigarettes and vapes. It's going to work the same. So if you're smoking right now or if you're vaping, it's the same advice applies. When you try to stop, you all of a sudden forget that you've stopped and you continue on doing so. So you tell yourself, okay, this is the last vape I'm having, or even 10 more puffs, and I'm stopping vaping completely. 2 hours pass, and you say, oh, where's my vape? That's how it works. You forget. Our minds are distracted with everything constantly. We are too distracted these days. So you forget that you even tried to stop. And now you continue on vaping. Some people disagree with your habit. You hide to vape in secret. Like this guy right here on the right hand side that I'm showing you. This guy is hiding in a forest, and he looks like he's quite upset. Maybe he's doing so to relax. Maybe he has stress in his life, and he's finding this as a coping mechanism to his life. He's escaping his reality by vaping, thinking that it will make things better, but they only make things worse. Why you should want to stop. So this is important. Those are going to be the harmful effects of vaping, which you're looking forward, to hearing about. So, if you don't stop now, you never will. So, this is quite obvious. If you keep vaping and your addiction gets stronger, it will become harder to stop. So if you don't stop now, you will continue on vaping, and it will be harder to stop the longer you do that. So quit now, cold turkey, which means you quit instantly without trying to smoke less or vape less. Like say, oh, tomorrow I'll smoke or vape just a little bit less, and then the next day I'll smoke or vape a little bit less again. This will not work. So if you don't stop now, you never will. So why should you want to stop? With how nicotine addiction works, you will want more and more. Brain and nervous system damage. So you will get brain damage and nervous system damage with long-term vaping. These will be the effects of nicotine on your brain and nervous system. You can research this further yourself. There's a lot of research done already. And with how new vaping is, I'm pretty sure you will find some information. It's not everywhere, but there is a big force trying to stop vaping already, because there is very harmful effects. Lung deterioration and organ damage. So as you breathe in this vape smoke, you don't really know what kind of chemicals are in it. Well, I do. I'm not going to start naming them, but they're harmful chemicals. They're unregulated. There is microplastic, so this is already bad. Microplastic is something that causes infertility, something that causes low testosterone. It causes the same effects for women. It causes fertility issues. Causes a lot of bad problems, these things. So lung deterioration means when your bronchioles and your alveoli sacs, everything that you've learned about in biology, they all deteriorate, they all get cloudy, they all get basically worn. They get a lot worse. So why should this bother you? Well, the longer you vape, the worse it'll get. And again, we don't know exactly of what's in these vapes. Like, these companies could be hiding something, and it might be a lot worse than it is. So organ damage, again, it goes through your trachea, it goes through your esophagus, it goes through your mouth, your oral system, it goes through, your teeth are affected by it, your whole saliva system, your saliva production system. Everything is affected by these vapes. Everything in your body, your blood system, everything is affected by these vapes. Harmful untested chemicals made in an unregulated environment. So here on the right you can see a factory in China somewhere making these vapes. So you can all see them wearing PPE, which is like personal protective equipment. They're all trying to like keep this as sterile as possible. But trust me, this is a picture to make it look as it's okay. People do not make vapes like this. There are factories where this is unregulated, untested. People make these things for 2 cents, maybe even less, for each one. And you're buying it for what? €8? $8? Maybe more? Costs 2 cents to produce. How much good can you put into 2 cents? An apple costs like 20 cents. So this costs 10 times less than to produce an apple that people sell. Like, think about it. How much bad stuff can you put into this vape here for 2 cents? I think a lot. And again, if you don't know, bad stuff is very cheap. You know, if you go to a shop, try and buy the cheapest things. You'll end up hurting yourself, your digestive system. You buy cheap, then you'll end up regretting it. Buy good quality food. This is the same with vaping. You're not going to get much for 2 cents. Yeah, you're paying like $8 or $10 for this vape, but it doesn't cost that much to produce. It costs 2 cents. Lung cancer and heart disease. Again, with the effects of lung deterioration and organ damage, you get the side effect of lung cancer and heart disease. This has already been proven. I've read articles, I've studied this. You get lung cancer from long-term use. So don't kid yourself. This is the same as using cigarettes. Sure, okay, it's safer. It doesn't have like a bazillion chemicals like cigarettes do. But these have some different chemicals. Okay? These have some different chemicals that cigarettes don't have. So keep that in mind. Fertility problems. This is my biggest concern. This is why I said I am not smoking these vapes anymore. Like, I underwent surgery to get my fertility problems solved and, fixed. Got like varicocele surgery. So it was very contradictory. Like, got surgery, but I'm still vaping. Like, who am I kidding? So again, back to fertility problems. Because of microplastics, because of the harmful chemicals within the vapes, you will experience fertility problems. So if you want to have kids, if you want to have a big family, and if you want to have healthy children, you should stop vaping. It's a contradiction to health. Why work out if you vape? Why eat healthy? You just negate the effects. You literally cancel all of the hard work that you're putting in. Like, you're working out, you're eating healthy, you're trying to meditate, you're trying to be like engaged in mindfulness, you're trying to read books and progress your brain and just overall get more successful. But let's focus on the health benefits. If you're trying to be healthy, are you not just cancelling out all of the work you're doing by vaping? It's a very contradictory thing that you're doing. So, again, that's why you should stop. It really does not look cool. This is for those who think that it looks cool. It does not look cool. It really does not look cool. People look at you and they just think to themselves, what a loser. He has an addiction. Unless they have it themselves. Then they think, oh, I wonder what flavor that is. But, a regular person will look at you and say, what a loser. And even worse, a successful person will look at you and say, well, I wouldn't like to deal with this guy because he has an addiction and he doesn't have good self-control. He can't control himself to the point where he has an addiction to something that, like, triple melon, candy stick, cancer vape. Will you really want to vape in front of someone who you look up to? I don't think so. It's a waste of money and time. So you go out, you spend your money on getting sick. It's the same with cigarettes. This whole video, like the same thing, cigarettes, tobacco, vapes. You spend money to get worse health. Like, come on. And you waste your time by going to the shop and actually engaging in this by like saying, "Oh, I need a break," so you take a work break and you go and vape, or you go to the bathroom and secretly do this. It was just crazy. You really don't know what the long-term effects are, so why risk it? This has never existed in all of humanity. Vapes have never been around except from the past 10 years. It may be even worse than cigarettes. And this is like a conspiracy theory that these were made to depopulate the world, which is like my little conspiracy theory. It's like I'm not going to get into all the conspiracy theories that I think are possible, but this is one of them. These were made to depopulate the world in I don't know, a couple of years, maybe 20 years. Everyone will start dropping dead like flies. You never know. There could be some one chemical in this that is so harmful that we don't even know of. 1,5,6 benzodiazepine or something like that. I don't know. There could be one chemical that is really harmful and people will start dying in 20 years. We don't know that. You don't know that. Sure, you might think, oh no, it definitely doesn't have that chemical in it. You don't know, I don't know. Those factories maybe don't even know, because they get a barrel of stuff delivered to them. They get a big barrel, which is the size of your house, delivered to the warehouse, and they're taking the juice from the warehouse and they're just putting into this vape. And do you really think that they know, the workers? Do you really think that the workers that are making these vapes know what kind of chemicals is in this? They don't care. They're getting paid very little, but they're getting paid. I'm sold. I want to stop. Woo! You might watch what? I don't know how long this video is, but you got convinced. You want to stop. You said, enough is enough. I'm being a bit of a dumbass for vaping. Yes, I'm being contradictory to everything that I do. I'm trying to be healthy. I'm trying to be a good person, to just move forward, be successful, but I still vape. I have such low self-control. I need to stop vaping. How do I stop? So well done. This is the first step. You made the first step by clicking on this video, and also you decided to stop, which is amazing. So well done. You recognize that you have a problem. Now I can help you. So once a person recognizes that they have a problem, now I can help them, because you cannot help someone who does not want to help. Try and help an alcoholic that says they're not an alcoholic and that they enjoy drinking and they don't want anyone's help because they think they can stop by themselves. Go and try that. Go and try help that person. You won't succeed. This is the same kind of scenario. So, what will you experience when you stop? This is the bad stuff. So this is the stuff that you will experience when you're quitting. Those are the withdrawal symptoms, and they're a little bit kind of shit. They're not good. Okay, so it depends how frequent of a user you were and how long you had this habit, this bad habit. So it depends. If you vaped for 2 weeks, you can quit right now and not get any withdrawals except for maybe a few hours. If you vape for 2 years, you'll have withdrawals for maybe, I don't know, 2 weeks, maybe a week. If you smoke for 10 years or vape for 10 years, of course you'll have big withdrawal, and these symptoms will be even more exaggerated. So you have to look at these withdrawal symptoms and apply your own time frame of how long you've been vaping for and how frequent you've been vaping. So the first thing, nicotine withdrawal. What you'll get with nicotine withdrawal, you'll get irritability. You'll get very irritated at small things. Small things will irritate you. Your family will say something to you harmless, and you'll take it seriously and you'll be irritated. You'll answer in a rude way or something. You'll get irritated at traffic. Maybe you're in a traffic light and someone's not moving. You're like, come on, move. You'll be so angry. So you'll get irritated. You'll have a lack of concentration, because again, that's what happens with withdrawals. You'll have a lack of concentration. You'll go to school or maybe you'll go to work and you won't be able to concentrate the same. But trust me, this is only for a very limited time. This will be there for a couple of days max, maybe I don't know, up to a week. Some of these side effects or withdrawal symptoms will last longer than others, so just take it as it goes. I'm just telling you what you will experience. You'll experience anxiety. So when you're meeting your friends or something, you'll be more anxious. You're What if they say something to me? Like, this unnecessary anxiety, you will be experiencing it. Mood swings, your mood will not be regular, so you'll be like, oh, like one day, one minute you'll be feeling fine, another minute you'll be feeling a bit depressed, and then you'll be feeling fine again. It's very normal with these withdrawal symptoms. Fun, right? You did this to yourself. Yeah. Also, to mention the intense craving for nicotine. So again, nicotine withdrawals, you'll be like constantly wanting to like puff on this vape. You're like, vape. You'll experience some coughing and mucus. So this is your body clearing itself from toxins. You'll be coughing a bit. You'll be, releasing some kind of snots. This is your body cleaning itself from all the harmful chemicals that you've ingested. And it's your body not knowing what the hell's going on. It's like, where are all these chemicals going? Like, I had to battle with these chemicals for like years. And now these chemicals all of a sudden stopped. So it's your body kind of going like, whoa, what's happening? You'll experience headaches and fatigue. So again, these can be severe, mild, depending on how frequent of a user you were. And you'll also experience fatigue, so you'll be tired. It'll be like a coffee withdrawal. It's like you not drinking coffee for a day. You'll be like, like you'll be sluggish, you'll be tired. You'll experience bad insomnia and sleeping irregularity. So when you try and go to sleep, you'll be maybe not falling asleep as quickly, and you'll also be waking up more frequent during the night, looking for your vape. You'll be like, where's my vape? Oh yeah, right, I stopped. That's right. That won't happen, but you will experience waking up in bed more often. You'll experience digestion issues and troubles eating regularly. So taste of the food will not be the same. You quitting it'd be like, food. You'll be eating a banana and you'll be like, why does this banana taste like shit? Because you stopped vaping. Trust me, this will go back again to normal in a very, very quick time. But have you tried to smoke a cigarette and then drink sparkling water, or like eat something? It'll be better than that. Like smoking a cigarette and then eating something afterwards, for me, tasted horrible. I'm so glad I stopped. So yeah, you'll experience troubles eating regularly. So your eating times will differ because nicotine suppresses hunger, especially cigarettes. So you will find that maybe you'll be more hungry, maybe you'll be less hungry. It's very individual. You will try to replace this with a bad habit with another bad habit. Beware. This is important. This is the most important bit. You will try to replace this bad habit with another bad habit. So, be careful. You stopping this vaping, you will find it very easy to adapt a new bad habit. You will find, I hope not, alcohol is there. There's like other addictions like PORN addiction. Maybe you have that already. Watch some of my other videos on that. I'm not going to start naming all addictions. I'm sure you're a clever person. You understand addictions yourself. But do not replace this habit with another one. You can easily do this. This is so easily done. Like, obviously, you're going to look for dopamine elsewhere. You had dopamine from this. You don't have dopamine anymore. You'll take your phone and you'll have the infinite scroll. You'll be infinitely scrolling social media to replace this dopamine addiction. Because, trust me, this gives you so much dopamine. So, I can't wait to throw this out. My last one, throw it out into the bin. Or not the bin, dispose correctly. So, yeah, try not to replace this with a bad habit, please. This is the most important bit. Fun, right? Don't worry, this will last from 2 days up to 2 weeks at most. Again, depending on how often and how long you had this vaping addiction and habit, then you are golden. So then you're set. You're fine, you're good to go, no addiction. Just make sure you don't get addicted to anything else. So please tell me, how do I stop? This is the end of the video almost. So this is how you stop. This is like the most important part. This is how you stop vaping. So, you recognize your problem and admit your addiction to yourself. This is the most important part. You recognize your problem. You say, yes, I'm a vaping addict. I am a cigarette addict. I am addicted to nicotine. I am an addict. This is number one. Recognize. Number 2, you set a quit date. You say, okay, I'm quitting tomorrow, or I'm quitting today. This is important. Write it down. Write it down on a notice board somewhere in your room. Write it down on a piece of paper. Write it down on your palm of your hand, like with a marker or with a pen. Write it down on your forehead if you need to. Every time you look in the mirror, you will see your forehead and you will say, okay, this is my quit date. Write it down on your mirror with a whiteboard marker that you can rub out. Write down your quit date, like the 7th of October, whatever. 1st of May. I recommend you write down the sooner the better. The best date that you can write down, guess what the best date that you can write down is? Have a guess. Today. Right now. You write down on your palm, quit vaping, or quit cigarettes, quit nicotine, whatever. You write that down. The best time to quit is right now. Not today, like not later in 2 hours, not tomorrow, right now. This is the best time to quit. After you watch this video, you say, enough. I've had enough. I've had enough vaping. I've had enough being a loser. I've had enough spending all this money on vapes. I've had enough damaging my health. Enough. I don't want cancer, lung cancer. I don't want all these addictions coming even worse. I don't want to become even a bigger addict. So say enough. I quit right now, and stick to it. Identify what triggers your addiction. Maybe it's people, maybe it's some certain activities. Try to minimize them. So some people, vaping might trigger your addiction. Maybe you are in a social group of friends that vape. All of them are vaping. What is my suggestion for that? Well, I suggest for a little bit of time, for maybe 1 week, try and not surround yourself with those people. Try and refrain from being with those people, because if they trigger your addiction, if you see them vaping and you're really inclined to also vape to fit in, or to maybe just as a social thing, as an activity, which is weird, but still, try and minimize your time spent with those people. This will help you. If it's an activity that makes you vape, maybe it's a stressful activity that you do and it triggers your vaping addiction, then try and refrain from doing this activity. So, simple stuff. Tell people about your addiction and your decision to quit. Ask for support. It will help you commit to it. So, tell your mom and dad, say, look, I have a vaping addiction. If you're a teenager or something, tell them, be honest with them. I had a vaping addiction. I am trying to stop. Can I please have your support? I'll be completely honest with you if I keep vaping, but keep an eye on me. Say it to your friends. Say, you know what, Johnny, you know what, Mark, you know what, Stephen, I'm trying to quit vaping. Just, can you please try and not vape around me if that's okay? Or maybe just, if you see me vaping, or if you hear me talking about how much I want to vape, just remind me that I'm quitting and it's for the better. So again, this will work both ways. Maybe you'll try and encourage your friends to quit. So show them this video, send them this video on whatever you use, like Snapchat or something, or WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. Anyways, send this video to them and say, look, I watched this video and I decided to quit. Maybe they'll decide to quit too. So tell them that you're deciding to quit. Tell them why you're deciding to quit. Say what you've learned from my video. Say, well, he was talking about all of these harmful effects. He was talking about, getting addicted even more. I just decided, I don't want to be contradictory to my health, so I just decided to quit. I just don't want this to become a problem, a bigger problem. So they'll listen to you and be like, okay, you know what, maybe he's right. Maybe I do need to quit too. So you'll actually have someone to quit with. So this might even turn into a better situation by you telling your friends that you're trying to quit, because they might try and quit with you, and then it'll become easier to quit, because then two of you are trying to quit. Then you hold yourself accountable to whatever, if you don't want to start vaping because your friend will think negatively of you. Then you'll be like, oh, he has low self-control, he just started vaping 2 days later. That's a bit embarrassing. So you'll have a bit of a commitment. If you tell your friends, your family, anyone who you trust, tell them about your plan to quit. This is important. Find a healthy alternative. Swap this bad habit for a good one. Get dopamine elsewhere. Meditation, the gym, just in general, working out, running, a simple walk. These will all help you replace the dopamine that you got from these things. This will help you find an alternative. So just do that. Find an alternative, a good one. Don't go like, okay, I stopped vaping, now I'm going to inject drugs. Or like, I'm going to drink alcohol. No, that's not what you do. You swap this bad habit for a good one. This is how change happens. You will have to find a habit to change this. You'll have to find something else. It only works this way. You have to replace it with a good one. And make sure again to remember, don't replace it with a bad habit. It has to be a good one. And there are many good habits that you can pick. You can pick a hobby, you can pick a sport, you can start to learn to play guitar. Say, okay, I'm going to start to play guitar. Every time I want to vape, I'll play guitar. Every time I want to vape, I'll play a game of chess. Every time I want to vape, I'll do 50 push-ups. Every time I want to vape, 50 push-ups. It's like Andrew Tate. Vape. Yeah. Do some push-ups, It's kind of the same thing. So, don't try to gradually decrease nicotine. Just quit cold turkey, otherwise you will cheat. Now, if you're 80 years old and you've been smoking for 50 years, I don't advise you to quit smoking. This is a thing that doctors recommend because your body is so used to these chemicals within the smoking cigarette that if you quit, you will actually possibly die if you're like 80 or 90. So unless you are 80 or 90, you can quit cold turkey. Or unless you've been smoking cigarettes for 30 years or 40 years or 20 years, whatever. You can quit cold turkey. So, again, this is important. Get rid of every vape you have in your pockets, your home, your bags, and safely dispose of them. There are many disposable things, like little bins that shops have. You can throw away your vapes. You can even bring this to a shop, like your local shop, and give them away. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give this away to a shop, and I'll say, here you go. And then they send these back to the company. So they get properly recycled then, and unfortunately more vapes are made from this one, but it's better than throwing it in a bin because this has a lithium ion battery which can actually cause fires. So please do not throw your vapes in the bin, but do dispose of your vapes. Throw out all the vapes that you have, bring them to a place that sells vapes. They'll take them back happily. And even if you have a full vape, even if you have 3 unopened vapes, which I'm pretty sure you don't, give them to a shop. Say, I don't want them. Don't give them to friends. Don't give them to any family members. Just throw them into the correct facilities, like a shop. This is important. You do not want to visibly see this. Now, I'm way past my addiction. I don't want to use this, so I can feel comfortable having this around me because I have the self-control. I don't want to use this. This will be brought to a shop. For you, as a beginner that wants to quit, you have to dispose of them. You have to make sure they are not in your line of sight. They're not everywhere, like anywhere to be seen. So, thank you. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for giving your time to quit. Thank you for deciding to quit. It's better for the environment. These are made from plastic. These are lying everywhere. I'm pretty sure you walk the streets and you see hundreds of these lying around. You are making an impact, not only for your health, but also for the environment. So, thank you. I hope you consider subscribing, liking this video. It will help me grow my channel. If you have any questions, please ask down below. I hope that this video is enough for you to quit. I hope that this video is enough for you to make a change, a better change for a better life. Because these are not improving your life quality. It's only decreasing your life quality. I have made that mistake. I am lucky not to go very far into this mistake. I've only done this habit for less than a year, so I can stop easily. You can also stop easily. Just follow the steps in this video, consider your health as a priority, and I hope that you can manage this. And I'm pretty sure you can. I have my faith in you. So that's it for this video.